as soon as
If you're talking, I'll check it.
okay, I'll just this is the year ahead.
That's good.
You know I do.
Oh.
Did check on the way in and said it was meeting back. Yeah, they're good.
That's right there.
Yeah.
This is not.
That'd be 38, 41, 39, 36.
I got 8 o'clock on my watch. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the February 17, 2025 Commissioners Meeting. There are Title VI forms in the back corner by the door. Feel free to fill one of those out. Then at the auditor's office. Can you go ahead and stand for me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Sheriff, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer.
Let's pray. Gracious God, thank you for another day. Even in all the cold and the snow and ice, we pray for safety for those that are traveling, for those who may be more exposed to the inclement weather. We pray that your presence helps, leads, and guides them today. As this group meets today, we thank you for them. We thank you for their service. We remember Romans 12:8. It says that those who serve and lead do so diligently. So we pray for diligence for the leaders, for diligence for those who are involved in this meeting today, that your spirit will lead and guide us in everything we do today, that it is done to make this place, this county, this city better. We offer this prayer now in your name. Amen.
All right, gentlemen. Did you have an opportunity to review the minutes for the February?
Do you have a motion to approve?
Yeah, motion. Second. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Moving on to claims.
I make a motion to approve the claims. Yes. I did want to just share, I mentioned the camera, there was the camera thing in there. That was for 3 cameras added to the north side of the building. And there was also a large, I checked in with you too, that the capital funding that is for server maintenance, or I'm sorry, server leasing. And then I'm looking at the schedule right now. I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to payroll. All right, the total that we had payroll was $406,723.71.
It's usually I make the motion to accept payroll.
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on. Todd House.
Since we met last, I've still been continued on just regular general maintenance, patching. We've got a lot of roads that are actually blowing up. So we may get into a situation where the road is blown up so far that we may have to mill it out, put gravel on it, and then come back in spring and take over that. So it's kind of a endless battle right now. Still been in bushwhacking, bridge maintenance, survey and layout. We just had LTAP come down and give us drainage training, which is a program that's free, provided by the state. I thought the gentleman that came down, he was a highway superintendent out of Michigan, and he related very good to the guys. It was a lot of about trench and safety, and this guy is very good. He actually does snowplow training, so we're on the list for that for him to come back. I've also rented a high lift for tree trimming versus paying a local contractor to do that. We've been traveling around doing a lot of the low-lying limbs on the community crossing grant for this year if we get awarded, plus some bad areas in the county that we can't reach with just a pole saw. So I've had a crew out doing that. Yesterday we were dealing with the ice and the snow. It came pretty bad last night. We went to Orange about 11 o'clock. Winds continue to blow. We could not. So we just decided that we would come in this morning, start at 7 o'clock. Decatur County schools, we were trying to get them to close. They did close this morning. Greensburg was already scheduled off for President's Day. So we'll be out working on trying to get some of these roads open. 700 West was pretty bad. 800 East, there were certain sections of the road we had to close. Just for the fact that we went out there and plowed it, it had been snowed shut again. So we got dispatched last night several times from 911 to close roads, and that's what we did. So other than that, that's all I have to report to you. Gentlemen, have anything for me?
When do you anticipate getting the bids in for furnish and supply and the fuel? Since we didn't roll those over.
The bid date opens on 17th, and they will be picking up the bid packets from either the highway department or the auditor's office. I have emailed, Jeremy shared a couple of asphalt companies. I emailed them, and I've got a list of about, I think there's like 9 asphalt companies I sent the bid out to. I sent the bid out to a couple pipe companies for the pipes and structural plates. For fuel, I think I sent out 4 or 5. And for stone, I sent out 4, I think. Brush County, Whitewater, all the locals here. So all those have been out. They know to reach out to me on the 17th or to Christie for the bid packet. And then I think the bids are due in on the 17th of March. The open.
So the process starts
It starts on the 17th.
today.
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
so they can come pick up bids either at the highway department or the office. And they
Yeah.
come back on.
And most of them just email us and want us just to email the documents to them. So, I think we've got them ready. We'll have those over to Chad to review today.
Yep.
So,
Sounds good.
all right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Todd. Doug, area plan.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm here today to request a transfer of the van that right now the Board of Health has, and they're no longer using the area plan. We're going to use it for the Decatur County revitalization project. Right now, we've started that project. It'll be used to go out to some of these blighted properties, take pictures. And right now, Sarah, who's heading that up, she's using her own personal vehicle for that. So I talked with the Board of Health, they're fine with it. So we're requesting that from the Commissioner this morning.
Is there plans to get that van marked, or is it already marked?
Or-
Meaning, like wrap or something on it that says?
We've got platelets that we can put on the side, magnetic. So, I mean, we do have that.
What kind of miles does it have? What kind of shape is it in?
I'm not sure.
Dr. Hal, do you know? Is Tim in his vehicle so much that he can't use that one?
Right, yeah, for sure.
And health department isn't wanting anything for it. I think this was the one that they had talked about having here a couple meetings ago that had over 100,000 miles on it, Brian. Because we had approved them to buy that vehicle to go around to the outer communities for health services. And I think it was 100 and some. I don't remember the exact number.
I have it here. It's 2013, 183,000.
I'm okay with the transfer. It's just, are we gonna dump a bunch of money into, maintenance or whatever? So it's not costing us anything to transfer it over.
Right.
I mean, we give it a shot. Because
Right.
if it's going to cost us money, then
Paid for the blighted van to be broke down.
That would be a good one.
I make a motion to do the transfer.
I second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
That's all I have.
Very
Thanks,
good.
Doug.
Thank you, Doug. Rob D. Huff. Hold on, let me get my time down.
5 minutes. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Morning.
All right. So I just wanted to start the meeting, give an update, and allow you to ask any questions if you want. Starting off, we will be getting, looks like the money from the city tip, which is finalizes the first part of the phase 1 project on the third complex. They do have to pass an exception at their next meeting. After that, you should be able to receive the funds here. We also got good news last week that ESSA will be giving us $20,000 to pay for the fencing. So this week I will be getting that money from them. So that just kind of shows that their partnership with us. They're committed to that partnership with us. And then I believe we received, Jeremy, you and I received some pricing terms from Masterford. We wanted to make sure we covered everything. Seemed pretty lucrative if we decided, depending on how we go that route in the future, if we do go that route. And then there are talks, I know Brian Robbins and I, we continue to talk with the Community Foundation to help fund the back end of that phase 3 project, start to get back forward. And then I do plan to continue to visit the city again to see if they have any more commitment they want to share with us and with their tip board and with city council meeting. So other than that, that's all I have, believe it or not. You guys have any questions?
So we talked about doing the back forward, and some of those things that came up were about, are we going to be able to do the schedule for the local girls softball league, and how does that affect that? So I know that there's been some talk about that, how that affects that. And, maybe waiting to do the back four after the girls softball league is over, or the softball league's finished, and how does that affect our pricing and all that? So can you comment on any of that?
I can comment on that. So obviously that was brought up to our attention last week. I know we had discussed with them, and I did cover it with the contractors that they are okay with, I would say, spreading out the constructions. So at least 6 items would be in use at one time, and then 2 could be under construction. And then when those 2 are done, obviously they could use those 2 and then start on the middle. Sure that everybody's in agreement. That would be a feasible compromise for us both, so the league could still be able to get in. And we could utilize Kohler Park to an extent, and we are also meeting with Greensburg High School with Tom Hunter, Casey Meyer, and John Rigney this week to utilize their field as well and kind of rotate it. That was what we all discussed. So yeah, so it seems to be a fair compromise with that.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Yeah. Instead of tearing all 4 up, same.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I'll just say, just to share, they're very flexible with us. I did reach out. Those companies, Shooty and Ashley Turf, they're very flexible with whatever we want to do. Forward.
So if we hold off on those other 2, it's not going to be an extra charge to wait.
It's not.
a few months. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I know that was a discussion.
It's not waiting a few months. It's just simply starting on 5 and
Yes,
8
thank you, yeah.
at the same, so start on 5 and 8, leave 6 and 7 open.
Right.
So that's the 2 outer sides. Once they finish that construction, they're immediately into the catchment. So there's not a gap of months, then that would be extra cost. So we're continuing construction all at once.
Right.
Just being a little bit more diligent in the approach, not tearing all 4 out immediately and have them all sitting around waiting.
Because I think right now, Shooty has just gone through all of them and just opened all of them up for AstroTurf. And so instead of doing that,
Right. So the way the drainage is, like he's got it stubbed out already to where you could do 5 and 8, cap off 8, and then 6, so 6, 7, 8 all flow together to one drain, and the other 5 flow to one drain. So the way he does it, he could do 5, 8, and 6, 7 open, then come back. But one thing to keep in mind with doing it that way is we would have to somewhat band-aid the middle too to get them playable for rec league and for there'd be a minor expense for that.
Field from the infield to the outfield, there's a lip there that is, right, we just need to do something.
We would have to minorly, I talked to Brad about it, we'd have to minorly till, kind of fix some holes in the current playing surface, minorly till and regrade everything, and then cut the lips off the back so water would drain off. I mean, it's, I know Scott Noah and I talked about it, baseball primarily plays on the one diamond, it's pretty rough.
But Rob, Teresa, and I met with Sean, Mang, Noah, and
Mark Carmen, Scott Noah, and John Manning, we met last Thursday, yes, and we all sat down and hashed this out, how we would.
I think all parties are pretty comfortable
good.
now with the plan going forward.
Good.
I know in today's climate, the interest rate that they sent over wasn't as high as what mortgage is, but it's still higher than what I was kind of led to believe. It probably would be at that last meeting. It was 6.8%. So that was definitely higher. I wasn't very excited about that when I saw it. So, I mean, we know that option is there, but that's a lot higher than I was anticipating.
And when we met with the TIP board for the city, that was the concern, is we weren't sure that they would even be able to give us any more because we weren't sure about how the state board of accounts was going to approve the TIF funding coming to us. So now that we know that that exception can be done and will be approved, then we have the opportunity to go back to that.
Yeah. So I was, after visiting there last Tuesday, I will say that the reception after we met Thursday and Friday night from some of the city council members seemed a little more welcome. You know, there was no approval or denial or anything. It said, so looking to strengthen that partnership with us. And that, their partnership in this project. So
Has U-Trip said anything about camper hookups and how many they would potentially need?
They have not. I know that's something that they obviously would be a benefit to them. Obviously more so, I think the family visiting the tournaments who want camp, right? So I think that's something we'll just have to judge moving forward.
Can you just inquire
I will.
with them, because just how many do they see on average? That kind of gives me an idea really with how many we need to be looking at over at the fairground in the Ready To project. That way I know we're way over capacity or way under capacity.
I will. Ask that and let you know.
Like it.
Thank you.
Rob, thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
It's a new record for you. Was it? Brad Spear, EMA.
I sent you guys a couple of grants. I know Jeremy asked for an update. The the multi-hazard mitigation plan. That grant is, it's a requirement to rewrite that every 5 years, federal requirement. The money will run through Decatur County, and we do have a match, but the match is in kind. So all of EMA's time, supplies, meetings, they assign actually a dollar figure to everyone who comes to the meetings. When we did this in 2020, we overshot the match anyway. The other is the employee salary grant. That's a federal grant through the state. It's $30,000 to Decatur County to help cover the EMA salaries. And that's an annual grant. I did take Mark off. He originally signed the salary grant. I put Jeremy on it. That's what triggered him to sign the grant. But we'll execute that in March. Multi-hazard visit. I think I sent the contract, the BERT contract.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
So that explains that. The only bad thing about the multi-hazard is the money running through Decatur. BERT invoices us. We try to get the request to the state for that invoice. Sometimes the timing is not great. So that's all I've got.
Do you have any paper copies or anything?
I do have paper copies with me.
Okay. I would just that way we can sign it.
Oh, okay.
Any questions for Brad?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Just information, I did talk to Tim Ortman, and I haven't talked about it yet, but we'll probably keep the orange level travel status until at least see where they're at, and then we'll look some of the beach roads up.
Okay, get those to me and I can sign the one that you sent last week, and then I'll get the other one.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chamber of Commerce membership. I know you guys had asked to just set this for today, as we discussed last meeting. So you can look into the information that we received from Don a little bit more. What are your guys' thoughts?
My thought is to do the membership, and then do I think it's the program, it's $25 for the, Sarah, you can speak to that about the advantages you get with that $25 membership addition, putting in the, yeah, I'm losing my thought.
We'll make you get up.
Job postings, website job postings.
Yeah, so with that $25, you'll be able to post to the job board.
That's what I was trying to say.
It's Monday morning. And then the events page. And then you can also make your listing on our membership form, professional, clean, stuff like that, so.
That's what my thought process is, those two. You know.
I agree. Yes, so it's the 130 plus the 25 for the website.
Yeah, and then
One time.
there's a one-time new member fee, so it'll just be 170 now, 155 each renewal, so.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to do that.
I'm in agreement. I don't think we need anything higher than that. All right, we have a motion.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We can go ahead and submit that. Patty, can you get that? Works.
The legislative lunch and learn you guys did is fantastic.
Oh,
Well,
thank
Good
you.
job.
Really good. Very beneficial.
And Patty, I can get with you. through running, so.
All right, up next, we have Safe Streets for All, the zero fatality resolution. So the Safe Streets for All program is a federal grant that is going to be a study for State Road 3 from Newcastle. Actually, I think Newcastle may have pulled out of it. But it's from basically 70 to 74 is what we're looking at. And so the county's portion of this is relatively small. Rush County has the biggest section in this. And so I think our portion of the study is going to be at some point paid out of plans and implementations for roughly $30,000 to $35,000. Part of the process here, I was informed by Kyle Gardner from Rush County that since we're a partner in this, we have to adopt a zero traffic fatality resolution for our section of State Road 3. And so I have a copy of it here. Again, just a resolution. Whereas the Decatur County, Indiana is home to residential neighborhoods of various sizes and characters, as well as thriving historic downtown, including local restaurants, shopping, and art galleries. Whereas to ensure that Decatur County remains a great place to live, work, and play, every person must be safe as they travel in the county. And whereas the county has undertaken the implementation of a safety action plan to assist in implementing the county capital improvement plan, whereas the county has identified as part of the safety action plan a high injury network of roads, including but not limited to State Road 3. And whereas the county recognizes that traffic deaths and serious injuries are not inevitable and is committed to take steps to eliminate traffic deaths and serious injuries by 2050. It is thereby resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Decatur County as follows: to make county streets safer for all, no matter age, ability, or community. Decatur County is dedicated to collaborating with all partners, including residents, county stakeholders, local and regional governments, and state agencies. Moving towards zero traffic deaths by 2050 is an ambitious goal, but we together can take actions to help save lives and make Decatur County streets safe for all. That the resolution of zero traffic deaths is hereby approved if we approve it. It's a box that we have to.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
check to move forward, right?
Yes.
It's hard to say you don't want to move forward with that. I mean, of course we want to, but does that leave other implications later that we're required to do?
This is only at this point, this is only to get to the study portion of it. I don't remember the total funding of the Safe Streets for All, but it was approximately $1 million for the whole study of all of 3 from 70 to 74. And our portion of the match was at 30 to 35,000. The overall arching goal here is that once the study is done, it's going to show some serious enough issues in the current structure of 3 that we can then take that study to the state and say, here, look at this. We'll see. I don't know if our section of it needs as much work as further north, but that's what Rush County has been talking about.
And that's what I was wondering, like, what's our benefit?
Our benefit is the amount of traffic that is commuting in between 70 and 74. Nobody goes, if they're coming east to west, nobody drives all the way to 465 to then come back to Greensburg or Shelbyville. If they're running on 70 west, they're dropping down on 3 and running down to 74. And so it's looking at congestion, the amount of traffic that is involved, the amount of semi-traffic that is involved through those stretches of State Road 3.
Well, I think we should move forward with it.
Yeah.
We have a resolution number on this. Not an
Ready.
ordinance. Not an ordinance, just a resolution. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they do. So it'll be 23.
All right, do I have a motion?
Ready for you to
All right,
I second.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have the air balance. All right, so we had gotten a quote from Heine for air balance, 7 fan powered boxes and a VAV box. The quote that we had received was $6,870. The work that was included was to measure the airflow from all diffusers, make modifications to each diffuser while every box is actually working, make necessary changes to the controls to make temperatures rise when things are actually cold outside. Make changes to the fan powered boxes to keep the fans on at all times. I think what their description was, keep the fans running to keep the air circulating, and put a time delay on it. So that was basically the work that we were looking at. Patty, if you can just give a little bit more information for what problem we're trying to address.
This is primarily on the second floor, clerk's office, magistrate, child support area. And the weather temperatures are extreme, whether it's hot or cold. People have trouble in that area, and the original thought was that they were going to put in some thicker coils, which are very pricey. And it was thought that this might be the way to go first. They would do an air balance, which they haven't done for some time. And this may take care of it. So if it doesn't, then I think it helps them judge what type of coils that they need.
I spoke to Pine, the rep, and he basically said the same thing. It's that this is a way for us to balance that upstairs to make sure that it's flowing correctly instead of the cost of the coils. His thought was this will probably work. We haven't done that in a while, so.
Any thoughts, Gabe?
No, I'm all for it. I read through.
I think Judge Bass would be in favor for it.
Yeah, it gets a little cold.
It does. His office is probably extreme, isn't it? I think that's the case too.
Yeah.
I make a motion to take care of this and see if we can get this to work.
I'll second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We can go ahead and do tiny air balancing. All right, next up, we have the Chillicothe Courthouse HVAC service agreement. I have a tiny service agreement here where we will be billed each quarter for $3,021. Total price of the contract for the year is $12,084.
So I know this is just repeated coverage. Patty, I know we've had some issues, some breakdowns. Do we know, you're probably gonna know the best, I mean, has some of that been related to things they're not checking potentially, or is that just been, extreme one-offs?
Age of our system.
The last that we had was kind of the perfect storm where you didn't even know what happened. We lost power. That's when we had a meeting here. So,
I remember.
so we lost power, which J system not work, or we didn't get the notifications. So, again, you don't figure all that out until after the fact. But Jace was installed so that they can program and get those notifications, when things go down. So, but for the most part, I mean, they're very responsive. They call.
They've been good to work with so far.
And it does need maintained. We've got to take care of
And do they give us service records? Do they give us a report of that, of the quality of what they place checks?
You know, most recently, we just had an inspection related more so to boilers. So, that kind of ramped things up because the state had all kinds of requirements. So, we now made a book and we've got the book down with members. And we're gonna go to that same process for everything else. So that we can log.
That's
They have
fantastic.
the records, but we didn't necessarily have them here.
Good, that's what I want.
Yeah, we're gonna have them here now.
Spent quite a bit of time down there recently. And I've noticed that, some records are written on things and I don't think that was all that, right? Or maybe it was long term, or from a long time ago, but I would just like to see a paper record that we move forward with.
And again, a lot of that they've gone to just put in the computer, so it's not there.
Sure.
I'm gonna try to have both sets.
That's great. Any further discussion on the service agreement?
Nope.
Got a motion?
I make a motion to approve this.
I'll second.
All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. All right, moving on, we have maintenance on the exterior of the building. There are caulking issues on the exterior of the building where it looks like we need to actually go in and re-caulk joints that are with the stone, with the brick, windows. So it looks like there's just a number of issues there that we need to address. It might help some of our water leak issues and possibly some of our heat and AC loss as well throughout the year. So we have a quote here from Brunson Gutzweiler to fix that. Given the amount here, did we ask for any additional bids? I don't think that we did on this one yet. So their quote here at 161,000. I think we need to actually go out and bid out for that price.
Is this the one where this is like the third time they've done this?
Yes.
When was the last time it was done?
No, sorry. This was the third time they bid it.
They
Oh,
did.
third time. you-
Yeah.
And
They
we-
brought it to us.
Keeps getting. Unfortunately, I think it's getting worse too, obviously. So.
It is.
You can look at some of those pictures and it's,
Oh, yeah, it needs done.
There's no doubt about it, but at that price, at that value, I don't think that we can just accept it. We can't just accept that bid.
the other things that we're looking to replace, the type of talking now.
Urethane or silicone instead of urethane.
Yeah. Spain and contract. There's no.
And the UV doesn't affect the silicone, does the urethane.
Which does concern me because they did the original work.
Yes. It's supposed to last 7 to 10 years. Yeah. But that was done in 97. So,
Okay.
Almost 30 years.
yes.
Yeah.
The urethane or the silicone is supposed to last 20 years. Is what the bid said.
So I think what we need to do, I think we just need to do,
Did it?
just call for bids and do the same thing. Because if I remember right, that's over the limit.
It's certainly over the limit, that we have to at least solicit 3 bids. I have to go back and Patty and I had already talked about this, finding where that line is between soliciting bids and actually, sending out a request for bids. I don't remember exactly where the line is, so that's on the list. Check income.
So we can just leave that one for, we can get an answer and figure out what we're gonna do by then. Get it fixed.
I believe anything that's over 100,000 needs to be bid.
Jeremy,
Yes,
since you're talking about the exterior, has anything ever been done with the downspouts? Because at one time I was told, like, when they added on to the new part, there were only two. And then there were two in the old part, which one of them was by ours, and it looked like a waterfall coming out. And of course, then both offices ended up with a lot of mold on the walls. So is there any update on that?
I think that's the first that I've heard of that.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think that has been brought,
okay.
that particular part of it, the downspout issue. I mean, obviously I know the mold issues that you guys have been dealing with, but I didn't know the downspout issue. I thought the water was coming elsewhere. Okay. All right, we'll look into it. All right, Dr. Howell. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Don't let me forget. I need to go back to the maintenance position. Check the box off early there, Dr. Howell, my bad. Morning.
Morning. I'm here this morning on behalf of myself and my neighbors, discuss the portion of 1,000 east and 400 south of the county line. Portion north of 400 south, 1,000 east of paved is 47 years. Also, give you some pictures. Yeah. On props. Took these pictures on the second page. So you can see one of the problems with maintenance on the road is when it gets plowed for snow, the gravel gets plowed into the ditch. Number one is my front yard. But basically, I normally mow that. I don't know what I'm gonna do this summer. I guess tear up the board. Mow. But currently there's a chuck hole up here, right where the road joins 400 south that you can bury your car in. Graders can't get to it because they'd be plowing right into the asphalt. We go ahead and chip and scale, that would eliminate that pothole forever. We could eliminate having to replace gravel on the road every other year and cut down some of the expense. Plus, most of the time it's either mud or it's dust. It's not a gravel road. It's a dirt road. There's been very little maintenance done on it through the years. Right now they're working on a culvert at 400 south there. That culvert's been plugged for the 20 years I've lived there. Another culvert down the road that needs cleaning. The road just does not get much maintenance. Chip and seal it would help it reduce the requirement. Plus provide a better surface to the residents. In actuality, almost all the houses are probably within the first half mile. Wouldn't really have to go to the full mile to get a good road for those services. School bus uses a road. We have one family that has children yet. The rest of us don't have children. The bus doesn't come there, but it does up and down the road every day. Jeremy's been concerned on some of the roads, on the edge of the road, whether a bus would go off. In fact, there wasn't a berm. Well, basically, this is a mud berm. And the way the berm has been graded down, it tends to hold water on the road and make it soft in the springtime. It needs a fair amount of work. And with the money you're getting to do chip and steel, even if you couldn't use it for that, that would replace some county money. It could be used to chip and steel that long distance.
So just to make sure I understand correctly, you're talking from 400 to Ripley County.
Yeah, Ripley County line. That's about 3/4 mile, looking at my car speedometer.
From 950 to, from 950?
No, from 400 south down to the Rupert County line is about 3/4 mile. 1,000 east is,
The county.
is County Line Road. Franklin County calls it County Line Road,
Right.
which confuses EMS and anybody else that you call and ask for service.
In order to chip and seal, we'd have to first pave it, correct? Are we actually able to lay that down on top of that base?
I'm putting a good base on it at this point. There's been some rock put on it, but I think it was about 2004, 2005. He had a fair amount of rock put on it. That's when first down in the mud, plowed into the ditch. But now it needs a lot more rock put on it.
Well, first step would be, Todd, just when you get the snow event taken care of, just have you guys go out there and do maintenance of it for potholes, things like that. That's step one. And then we'll need to address, I don't think this was on your list for CCMG for this year.
No,
This road gets forgotten by the county. The first year I was out there, I was a week without getting plowed, 20-some inches of snow. And the way I finally got it plowed, I had to call in, say, had used it all this road. So it's been ignored for almost 100 years, I'd say.
We'll get it on the list to look at there for chip and seal. I know what we already have coming up for 25. So we'll look into seeing if it's something that we can fund. I know we do have limited funds on what we can do on our own,
We're all
but
short
we'll
money.
look at it.
I would
I don't
add-
know what the traffic amount is over there, so
It's hard to say. It's not a heavily traveled road,
that's.
so it should last a long time. I would tell you, these, I don't know exactly how much property tax this property brings in, but the value is $1,644,400. So it's not a property that's not going to support itself. Central property tax. And I expect the assessor would find a reason to increase assessment there. Different seal. I know the comparisons of done when I've had my house appraised, have always used property that were on paved roads. So I'm probably paying more now than I really should be. But I would think it would still increase the amount of,
What does it cost, Todd, for chip and seal per mile? You have it.
well, chip over existing paved roads like $24,000
Existing pay.
on existing paved road. I don't know what the cost. I know that just like Dr. Howard and several other people in the county, 20 West, on better gravel roads that have reached out to the county, basically have looked for a cost share, okay, of the homeowners that pump the chip and seal in the county. So that has been brought to me. As far as that, I know there's people on 20 West that talked to us last year. That's kind of went along the wayside. But I don't know what the cost is for just dropping down the emulsion and chip and seal or bevel chip and seal. I don't know what the cost is.
well, given when we have this topic now, when you're looking at what we're going to have in way of money the next few years. I've been sitting in commission meeting, 3 sets of commission. And at no time has anybody ever really addressed how we're going to, what we're going to do with 75-mile gravel roads in this county, to make improvement. I would tell you right now, I think it's time that there be a plan developed to improve all these roads. And we need to think about all the county roads. I grew up down in Suffolk Township, and when we all drained down when I was growing up, it might be biggest truck, 24-foot bed. everybody now uses semi. And so you go down there in the fall and it's all, there's semis parked all over, guys loading from the field. Those roads weren't built a whole lot much weight. And we need to be thinking about how we are going to improve the road structure in the county to support agriculture, if nothing else. Because it's going to end up being a problem. Every semi fully loaded with corn is a lot of weight.
I agree.
And there's not
I
roads
agree.
built to handle that. So,
That's
thank
bad.
you.
I agree with you there, Dr. Allen. Todd, you can just take a look and get some of that addressed out there. And we can circle back and talk about the other requests for the chip and seal. Thank you, Brian. All right, maintenance positions. So we have received numerous applications for the maintenance position here with the courthouse and the county buildings. We need to set up, I guess, are you guys comfortable at this point with the candidates that we have? And are you at a position now where you're ready to start interviewing?
I believe we are.
Okay, I agree with that. Dave? Okay. We'll get some dates together then, and we will set up an executive session to do the interviews in this position. Do we want to try and do those as soon as we can, or I know that we have the veterans position that is open as well. Do we want to try and do all of that in one day?
I think that's a smart idea. Knock it out.
How long do we have left on the veterans office position?
They have to set something up for next week.
No. That's fine, because that gives us time to contact those folks and get everything scheduled.
Did you have any applicants for the veterans? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got two that Mike recommended. Yeah. Stuff. It's still coming.
All right. We have a use of facilities request for the annual Strawberry Festival. Helps raise money for 16 funded community partners with the Decatur County United Fund. It will be on June 6th, 2025. They would like to set up on June 5th. All day. It'll be on June 6th until 4 p.m. They will take tents down on the evening of June 6th. They're looking to use the south side of the square and the drive-up lanes for the pickup deliveries of strawberries.
What day is that? Is that Friday? Just the only thing that I remember them talking about is that, of course, we have the farmers market the same day, and I know they have to coordinate that. So other than that, it's a great partnership. We've done it for a long time, but as long as those two entities work out that.
They were able to do it last year, I think, with no issues. Did you hear of any issues, Patty? I didn't.
I think they've done a good partnership together. So yeah, I would make a motion to allow Drive Fund to use the courthouse.
We do have the certificate of insurance here for the event. All right, we had a motion from Brian.
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Oh, Brian, do you have an update from EDC?
Yeah, just three quick things. One of the big ones is the Opportunity Expo on February 26th. And we invite, there's still enough time for people to come participate, particularly businesses, but even nonprofit organizations, taking part in juniors and seniors all throughout the county. Second, two updates. Been having meetings with Jeremy and some of the construction people for the fairgrounds project, kind of trying to scope of that, as well as essentially some planning on that. We have a big meeting tomorrow. So we should have more That's on that one. Everything seems to be going all right, and with the Ready to the other projects, that big was the Greensburg Learning Center, which is it's a child care project with all for kids. The contract was awarded to all for kids at the last school board meeting in Greensburg. That should add about it's around 190 new child care positions here in the community, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a big need, so we're happy to be able to get that going.
Now we at the Learning Center.
To be at the Learning Center. Yes, we're bringing a whole wing of the Learning Center over to the District of Child Care. Greensburg High School is also moving its early learning pathway over to that school, so there's going to be some coordination there as far as a feeder system for the child care, not only all for kids, but hopefully carousel and the development section. So that was a big win for the community there. And lastly, my board approved to move forward with pursuing a housing study for the county, the entire county. We'll be looking for partners to do that. It's something that hadn't been done since around 2018 to 19. And when we did it, DEC did it back then. It was a very minimal attempt at it. I think this corresponds well with the review of the comp plan. We'd be focusing on what we have, what we need and what kind of gaps there are as far as not only just affordability and such, but also type of housing, mix of housing. Where the potential lies. So we'll probably come back maybe for a year or so, some sort of partnership idea with it.
Very good.
Yeah, I think the housing study will be really beneficial. That was a big discussion with the comp plan, is that mirroring those two up would really be a benefit. So we're addressing full issues here at the same time.
Agreed.
Anyone else? Sheriff, yes, sir.
Wouldn't be a meeting time.
I know.
Here's your copy of our annual jail inspection. People had to be very riveting reading, have to put it down. Walk inside, we passed with flying colors. So I'm very happy with that report. That's for your review. I've already placed a copy in the clerk's office for public review in the auditor's office as well. Item number 2, I shot you an email requesting your representation. Our crisis intervention team hiring. So if you'd like to address that, we'd like to have one of you on our board.
Yep. So I know that we had approved different measures for CIT, and that board does need one commissioner. I know, Brian, you had said at one point that you do want me to do that. Hey, would you have any issues?
No, I'm willing as well.
Okay, I'll make the motion then that Brian is the commissioner representative on CIT. Second, those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Keep me apprised.
Again, we're looking at the first week or second of March. And we're going to be, yeah, we'll keep you apprised.
Anyone else? Going once, going twice.
I would open up today that either one of you, any of you would like to run with a snowplow driver today, today would be your day.
Today's the day.
It's a good time.
If you do have any interest in it, on your schedule.
It's
Hopefully, there's not too many more days left of this. I think we got another event coming in Wednesday. Kind of keeping our eye on as well.
I did it during the last snow event, and it's an enjoyable experience. It's an enlightening experience to be in the truck and see how all that, how the day progresses.
When I stopped out to see you guys, I told him to put me in the old truck you got. I might regret that.
I'll tell you, in the new trucks, the passenger seat's not that comfortable. So, all right. Anyone else? Motion to recess would be entertained.
Make a motion to recess.
I second that.
We are recessed.